In every survey, in almost every state, Mitt Romney has surged to the lead, and one of the reasons is because of ads just like this.
This election is about more than just replacing a president. It's an election to save the soul of America. We still believe in an America that brings out the best in all of us, that challenges each of us to be better and bigger than ourselves. It's time for this pessimistic president to step aside and let American optimism that built this greatest nation on earth build a greater future for our children. If you believe the disappointments of the past few years are a detour, not a destiny, then I'm asking for your vote.
I'm Mitt Romney, and I approve this message.
So I got to ask you, how many of you have met Mitt Romney here? Raise your hands. So I guess it's working, that the fact that he's practically living here has made a difference. In the last couple months, have any of you supported another candidate but moved towards Mitt Romney? You have, and you have. Tell me why.
I was supporting Rick Santorum, and to be honest, I may go back to that before the primary. And the reason that I'm supporting Mitt Romney now over Rick Santorum is that I am scared to death that if we don't elect somebody that can really have a chance at beating the president, our country's down the tubes.
Doug in the back.
Yeah, I agree with that. This election is not about what we do. We hope we're getting somebody that will move the right direction. It's about electing a Republican.
Paula?
I was supporting Tim Pawlenty, and then he dropped out, but I felt that where he was a governor knows how to do checks and balances, and that's important to me, how to write a budget and how to stay within a budget.
I love the accent of New Hampshire. It's so great. Congressman, you're one of the leaders of the conservative movement in Washington, D.C., and you chose Mitt Romney over anybody else. Why?
Like they said, I want to win, but this is about in the economy. And I really do believe in my heart of hearts that the very best thing we can do is nominate and put Mitt Romney into the presidency. He understands a budget. He's done it in the private sector. He did it in the Olympics. He did it as governor. I like the idea that he's only served for 4 years. And I think if you're going to take the fight to Barack Obama and make the case for jobs in the economy, Mitt Romney is in by far the best position to do that. He has a personal knowledge, and I think he'll get his fingernails dirty in cleaning up that budget, because it is a mess.
So let me ask you, because this is important not just for the presidency, but for the Senate and the House, because both are up for grabs. Why would Romney be the better candidate for congressional candidates like yourselves and for Senate, which Republicans hope to capture in 2012?
Well, one of the key things that I've been telling my colleagues and trying to encourage them to endorse Mitt Romney, and by the way, 60 members of the House and the Senate, the next closest person in terms of endorsements has 10, but the compelling message there is he's the most well-vetted candidate out there. And I think that is so important. If you're going to be on the receiving end of $1 billion, you know where the warts are. And they don't look so bad. In fact, Mitt Romney looks very good. And if you're going to talk jobs, jobs, jobs in the economy, you got to talk to somebody who's actually been there and done that. And that's what Mitt Romney's done.
So what's holding you back? I want to know, Alice.
Mitt Romney did not create jobs. Bain Company went in and bought struggling companies, sold off all the assets, and shipped the jobs overseas. He did not create jobs.
No, that's not true.
Go ahead.
I totally disagree. Actually, I'm a job that actually Mitt Romney saved.
Oh,
my company. He saved my job. Okay.
One thing I would like to say, I think that he philosophically understands government doesn't create jobs, people create jobs. And that is, you're going to have a battle, a philosophical battle in this country. Do we want to become an entitlement society, which is Barack Obama's vision, or do you want to become an opportunity society? And I think Mitt Romney understands it at its core.
And actually, he had a debate segment last night, which I thought as a language specialist, which was really where he talked about his vision for the future and the fight for the soul of the country. Let's play that debate clip and then get you to react to
What's at stake in this election is jobs, yes, and balancing the budget, yes, and dealing with our extraordinary overhang from our entitlements. We have to make sure they're preserved, our entitlements, that is, that we don't kill the future of the country. We got a lot of issues we talk about, but really, this election is about the soul of America. The right course for America is to return to the principles that were written down in those first words in the Declaration of Independence. We were endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, among them life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We have the right in this country to pursue happiness as we choose. The question is, are we going to remain an exceptional nation, a unique nation in the history of the earth? That's what's at stake in this election.
That's very powerful language. What's your reaction to what's happening right now And are these candidates connecting to you?
The candidates do connect. Mitt Romney, I really feel that he genuinely loves America. I'm just having trouble really. He's not strong enough to me. He doesn't stand up strong enough and really show himself to be as conservative as I'd like him to be. However, I do think he could work both sides of the aisle. He just hasn't bought me yet.
Tell me, is Mitt Romney strong enough for you?
Absolutely. The guy's
I've never hit a congressman before.
Yeah. Well, the guy's wearing shoes like that. I don't know what
By the way, when pollsters get hit, they go straight down. But you've heard this before. You've heard people say he's not strong enough. How do you respond?
Look, he was governor of Massachusetts, dealing with the legislature. There was 85% Democrats. 85% Democrats. He inherited a $3 billion deficit without raising taxes. In fact, cut taxes 19 times and turned that into a surplus. That is powerful. And he issued 800 vetoes. 800 times he vetoed bills in 4 years. Conservatives love that stuff.
Very quickly.
In order to have done anything in Massachusetts with that Democratic bunch, he's awesome. And
so you're
I think
voting
he'd do
for him.
great. Absolutely.
You got 10 seconds. Make the last pitch.
It's about jobs. It's the economy. We need a strong leader who's going to take the fight to Barack Obama, and there is nobody better to do that than Mitt Romney.
Congressman, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And when we come back, Senator Rand Paul will be here. Mrs. John Huntsman, Mary Kay Huntsman will be here, and you're going to see some ads that you've never seen before that are blowing the roof off in Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, and nationwide. Stay tuned.